Yes, welcome one and all. Welcome to the Trenchfoot Society, all you champions of the soggy sock, you pioneers of the bleeding boot, you defenders of the crusty toe. We open our trenches to all. My name is Fred, I'm your host for today, and back from the shore of old Blighty is Alex. Hey Alex.
Hello, back from the other name for the UK, I suppose. I suppose that's what you call it, yes.
You can call it a lot of stuff, and the Brits call it a lot of stuff too, so, and a lot of them is not good. Also, like Douglas, our Dougie from last episode, we have another one applying for a job on the TFS podcast, now from the other side of the pond, the enigmatic and ever-helpful Mr. Richter. Hey, Rich.
How's it going? Holding it down from Burgerland.
Holding it down from Burgerland. Wow. That's a nice one. Episode 4 of the Trench Crusade podcast, we have passed the first 3, so this is good. And well, this first segment is about what's happened with us. What did you do the last couple of weeks between the last episode and this episode? As usual, I try to collect as much feedback as I can. And I got some feedback, and I learned from that feedback that you cannot please everybody, and I should stop pleasing everybody. So, fuck you all, I'm not pleasing you anymore. It's not gonna be happening, but I'll try. We discussed a little bit with the crew here. Our length of episodes was a main topic of feedback. Some said, well, it's much too long. Because the episode with Scanner Barkley took us about 1 hour and a half. But yeah, we have Scanner there, and Dougie was very long-winded. So normally we are supposed to do 1 hour episodes, and we'll see how that goes. Also, in other news, there are going to be short episodes on YouTube called TFS Shorts, where I will be searching another teacher, a different teacher every week. In short episodes of half an hour to teach me this game, because I really suck at it. I've noticed that, and it isn't hard to suck. Oh man, I should rephrase that. That really sounded awful. It's okay to suck. It's okay to really not be good at Trench Crusade, but I might as well learn to play this game a little bit better, so we'll do that in the shorts. How are you people playing the game? Are you good players? Alex, do you kick ass?
I've had mixed results, I guess. I had one campaign where I went, I think... We didn't run to the end because the full campaign rules weren't out at that point, but I played the newly reworked Trench Pilgrims in Rules 1.4, and I think I went 8-0. I didn't lose a single game.
Very nice.
Yeah, that was a fun game, not for my opponents. That's also the campaign where Clive, Scanner Barkley's Clive, is from, so that was a fun time. Then I've had other times like my Sultanate is not that good yet, and I think I need to ditch the cannon. It's just not that good.
You play base or one of the variants?
Defenders of the Iron Wall, yeah.
Oof, yeah, defenders can be tough, especially if anyone closes to melee.
Yeah, and I have an alchemist manning a cannon in the back. As like, how many shots does that really get you fire in a game? I should just get rid of it and get more guns in the field.
Yeah, more siege zales.
Yeah.
That's always the answer for defenders.
Yeah.
Rich, you seem like a very knowledgeable player. How is your game?
Me?
Yeah.
To pat myself on the back, I think I do better than most. I played Pride Court and Prussia, so not exactly, quote unquote weak variants. To the point where at my local game store, I don't play my court list anymore because it's unfun to play against. Which I totally understand, but it's sad. I like my Pride Court a lot.
When you ask people what they play and how they play, you can easily hear by what they say if you have an experienced or a more competitive player or not. I mean, when you ask me, like, hey, how's your game? What do you play? I say, oh, I'll try anything. But when you ask you, Rich, you go like, hey, I do Prussia, I do this, and I do that, and I have a very niche game of sub-factions, and then you go like, oh shit, this guy is going to to kill me. This guy is going to stomp me.
I mean, sometimes the God wills it. Sometimes the dice do what the dice do. But after a certain point, you can only sandbag yourself to a point. Because if I play anything, I don't want to play badly. If I need to tone down, I'll just switch armies. And that's why I started playing New Antioch. It's more interactive than my Pride Court was. Because it does feel bad when my Praetor and my Hunter can go 5 turns and not take any damage when I table the opponent. And it's happened 3 times at my game store.
So the game is unbalanced.
It can be, but then it is court, and we can talk about this maybe a little later. Court breaks a lot of the rules for the game, just by its very nature.
Yeah, by the way, dear listeners, during this episode, you will hear a lot of swear words, a lot of hate, and a lot of displeasing stuff about Trench Crusade. Is this because we are a hateful bunch? We might be, but we're not, actually. We are doing this to vent a little bit and to, take a little break from regarding everything as positive. Why? In culture these days, in our society, it's a positive thing to be positive. People like positive people. People dislike negative people, and on the office floor, in schools, in relationships, we tend to go positive. Sometimes, dear listener, you have to go negative. Sometimes you have to go, this really bites my crank. This really bites my crank? What's a crank, and can it be bitten? Is that where, Rich, where do I, is that an American phrase? This bites my crank?
If someone bites my crank, I'm going to the hospital afterwards, and then maybe get arrested.
What's a crank?
I don't know. My cock? That's a crank.
Oh, it is. Damn. All right. I don't know where I got that from. Shit. Okay, well, you can say this bites my crank in this episode and a lot of stuff more. So we're not negative people, but we are going to...
Well, speak for yourself.
Okay, we're all negative people. Alex, are you negative?
I guess I'll try to be this episode, yeah.
I think you're one of the most positive amongst us. It feels that way. Speaking about positive, how was the Games Expo? You went there?
Yes, I was at the UK Games Expo this year in Birmingham. It was my first Games Expo that I've been to ever, and I think this is one of the larger ones from what I gathered. So quite a way to start it, I guess. Didn't get to spend as much time on Trench Crusade as I may have wanted to. They had a relatively small booth compared to what some other companies had, and they were very busy. There were constantly people there talking to Thomas and the rest of the staff. Who I had a brief chat to. Lovely bunch, the whole gang. Came home with a map of the Trench Crusade world, which I'm looking for a frame for at the moment to try to put up on my wall.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But the Games Expo as a whole, super fun. The Trench Crusade booth, super fun, super nice people, and I want to find more. Sadly, there's not a lot of expos here in Sweden, so I might need to go abroad for those.
The expos and the conventions in the US are to what I know even a lot bigger. I don't know how big Gen Con is or Adepticon, considering to the UK Games Expo. Do you have any info on that, Rich?
No, I haven't really been to conventions in a long time. I have been to San Diego Comic-Con a few times, and that is an absolute madhouse. But that was back when I was in high school, so Trench Crusade wasn't even a thing then. If this keeps going and I, fingers crossed, get the missionary position for Denver, I'll have to be going to more conventions. I can report back then.
Yeah. So, did you were a cosplayer at the time, or?
Cosplay, video games, more like that was more in high school. Since I got more into video games, and only recently I actually started playing tabletops in person because I got a 3D printer.
You really had no friends, didn't you?
Yeah, I have no friends.
All right. So I tend to realize that a lot of stuff that is happening in the Trench Crusade universe I miss. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I have a life and have a lot of stuff to do. But I mean, the map was on there for weeks, and somebody went to me, "Hey, there's a map." There's a map? Is there a map? Recently, someone said, "Well, there's also a sort of a puzzle to be solved on the main page." As a puzzle, why? So I always am late. I always miss what is happening out there, and I don't know why. Is it because I'm not attuned to the Trench Crusade marketing machine? Is it because I could not care one fuck? What is happening out there now, Alex? What is happening in Trench Crusade?
That's a good question. As you mentioned, the puzzle, that is a mess and a half. It's almost been a month at this point, and to be honest, this is the negative episode, right? So
Yeah,
I can
go.
say that I'm really not sure this puzzle is not being run well, but was designed well, maybe. Because there's no feedback on what direction are we going. Are we going the right direction or not? To add context, the puzzle is on the webpage, on the Trench Crusade webpage, there's a secret login page. This asks for a password, and, well, you either enter the right password or the wrong password. Then there's been a couple of hints along the way, but there's been so much found on what it could be. The current theory is that it's 5 words, and we also have confirmation that it's only 1 capital, so that's probably at the start, presumably. But it's we have a lot more than 5 words, and what direction should the word, what order should the words be in? There's no real information on that. I would like to see it be more step-based, so you actually know I went in the right direction, I have this, and now we're on to this. But instead it's kind of chaotic. To the point where, it's been a month at this point, and technically, I mean, we haven't made any progress. There's more information, more stuff that hasn't worked, but nothing that has worked.
Could it be that there is no point? That just the point is to create chaos?
I've started moving in that direction. Yeah, maybe that's a lore piece that's dropping. That so many people have tried to open, because this seems to be connected to the Temple of Metamorphosis. That so many people have tried to open the door. Yet no one succeeds, and we're going insane trying.
I am so hype. Temple of Metamorphosis is going to be my 3rd faction. I am all for the door.
So
praise be the door.
Have you made any attempts to open it, Richard?
Honestly, I have been super busy the last couple of weeks between work, the campaign, and then other war games I'm looking at. This is new to me. I'm just looking at the door right now on the main page and excellent. What I do know is Tomas says the mechanic for Temple of Metamorphosis is finished, and it's apparently his favorite. So, so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for all the new factions. Yeah.
Animals and shape-shifting animals? Give me a 5...
that's Path of the
Beast.
Beast.
What is Metamorphosis in?
Temple of Metamorphosis is, there's a door at the bottom of hell that something beyond creation is whispering behind, and if you listen to the whispers, you turn into a weird crab insect thing.
A crab?
Crab,
Yeah. Some of the art is
insect, all that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, it's old gods, Cthulhu, Azathoth, Nyarlathotep, all that stuff.
Yeah. Now, well, it's like a very old lore roleplay trope. I mean, there's a door. Well, don't open it. Yeah, but something's scratching behind the door, and someone in your party opens the door. So this feels like the same. It's old, a door with a secret behind the door. I don't know. So, is that a new faction? Is there another new faction coming out, or is this the new faction that's coming out, or is there more?
I think the best knowledge I have is that there's 6 factions that are going to be announced or released after the 1.0 rules. Temple of Metamorphosis, Path of the Beast, Hebrew Knights, and I'm gonna say this wrong. Strategic Snod, the people who like make the observers for the faithful factions, and I think it's
Crusader Knights.
Crusader Knights. So then the mystery is the sixth one, which I'm betting it's the Knights Templar for the heretic side of things.
The evil knights.
Yeah, the ones that actually caused the ultimate heresy in 1099, which would be super cool to see.
I'd like to say that, yeah.
Yeah, oh god, that'd be so fucking cool. And so yeah, Temple of Metamorphosis is the expansion faction that I'm most interested in. But the models are going to be an absolute nightmare. I can already tell.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Both.
Like just to like put on the base and move around the table without them breaking is going to be insane. Because like one of them is just you have like this grub thing with dozens of little legs. Like yeah, there's no way that's going to survive.
Well, you can always print another one. I mean, it's resin, so yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Okay. Good. Then I'm up to speed now. Let's move on to our main topic. Let's move on to all the stuff we don't like. But why? It's dangerous to do this because if you criticize something, then people will take. Well, a while ago I said I don't like lore, and I got some people that really went go. How can you not like lore? This is a lore game, you infidel. It's like, sorry, I don't like lore. And this is the same if you say I don't like Trench Crusade or I'm not into it, then people will start go uppity and we have to do this as an independent source, I guess. And we have to realize that not everyone is playing this game for the same reasons or has the same getup or the same stuff behind it or the same passion behind it. So, Alex, why do you play Trench Crusade in one sentence?
In one sentence? It was the first war game I played, and rolling dice is fun.
Rich?
It's a tactical challenge.
Okay, but if I hear the both of you, then you could do that with any game. Then
true, but. Okay, how I describe Trench Crusade to someone completely new is 90% of the rules are rolling 2d6. Yeah. The rules I find are rather intuitive, and they make sense from a narrative point of view, from a tactical point of view, and just from a gameplay point of view. Unlike other war games, won't mention any names, that it's you have a 300-page rule book. It's like, okay, here are the rules, and we have a very complicated order of things which must happen to maintain the game state. Trench Crusade really doesn't have that. And that appeals a lot to me.
You can't say 40k, by the way. that's no problem.
No, it's other games too. It's like Infinity has a very complex rule set. The Old World is the other game I play, and that's a very complicated game. Trench Crusade is just the rules are 7 pages.
Yeah, but
and I cannot get over how nice
is it really though? I mean, we're gonna get this on this later, but. One of the main gripes I hear people of the community talk to me is like, the rules are very simple, but are also extremely vague and badly written. So you can have 30 pages of rules that are very crisp and clean, or you can have 7 pages that are, quite vaguely used, and that makes it a lot harder, I guess. Alex, a question for you. How vague are our rules?
More vague than I'd like them to be, really. I mean, most questions, most generic enough questions especially, can be answered by something in the rules. But there are plenty of things that we don't have answers to, or that you do need to consult Thomas' message that he wrote in a Discord thread 5 months ago, or even 10 months ago. At this point, the game is getting old. And that hasn't made it into the rulebook yet. And it becomes a question of, is that intended or not?
I mean, are we being fair to Trench Crusade? It's an unfinished game. It was a Kickstarter. It's made by a very small team. Some of the team are actually doing extra jobs, or this isn't their main job. I mean, is it fair to dislike is it fair to criticize a rule set that's not ready yet? Rich?
I would say it's absolutely fair because all criticism comes from a place of intent. And I'm not going to speak for either of you. I really like the game. Any criticisms I have of Trench Crusade's rule set are from like, hey, we can make this better already. So I'm not trying to tear Trench Crusade down, but there are areas that do need improvement. Though largely I do like the rule set as it currently stands in 1.6.3.
It's like a discussion I had with someone. He said, like, well, the factions are not balanced. They should be balanced. And I was having a... Yeah, I know. And I had a talk with that guy. I said, like, well, they shouldn't be balanced. If they're balanced, then you throw away all the little specific little things, like, and you have no mountain to go up against, no David and Goliath stuff. You have no all your flavor goes out, and that was a discussion of about 2 or 3 hours, I guess, with that guy, and we agreed to disagree. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff to talk about the rule set. Even, I mean, if we were doing rule set podcast episodes, we would have, man.
Oh, I would love that.
Okay, well,
I'm kind of like the TO for my campaign. Like, all right, this is how it plays. This is what it actually means. This is what Tomas said. Like, move it along. Are you an
ex-Magic player? The Gathering?
Yes, I actually cashed out of Magic around last Christmas. I got like $5,000 in cash. I was like, cool, I'm gonna buy a 3D printer and get in Trench Crusade.
Damn.
Oh, I hate those guys. I'm sorry.
Hey, I played non-blue Control.
That doesn't mean anything. I know. I used to sell Magic the Gathering. I used to work as a distributor in Europe for one of the larger distributors of Magic in Belgium and the Netherlands and France. And I sold, I mean, pallets and pallets and pallets of Magic. And the guys of Lizards on a Toast, they wanted me to demo, and I said, no, I'm not going to demo this shit. Really, no. I've met the most of toxic players I ever met in tabletop gaming were Magic players. So, yeah, I'm glad you escaped that one.
No, like, the only reason I did leave is because WotC is just having too many releases, and I played Commander, which wasn't supposed to rotate, but it started rotating due to power creep. I will eventually play again. I have my eye on a red-black deck for Pioneer that I'd like to explore, but that's probably a little bit down the line.
Is there a comparison between Magic rules-wise and Trench Crusade?
Absolutely not. Magic is the extreme opposite end, because Magic is like, just read the fucking card and it'll tell you what to do. But there's over 1,000 pages of granularity when you just start talking about layers and game states, time stamping, and everything else, which I love. Magic is so tightly written. It's wonderful because the difference between choose and target is massive. When things happen from, like, I have this effect, and then this effect, then this other effect, it'll determine how the game actually works out based on the quote-unquote layers. And I have so many examples that I can get into, but that's another whole podcast instead. But yeah, Magic is incredibly tightly written. I love those writers. If I could, I would have Tomas just hire them for a couple days and just hammer the shit out.
Huh. We're going to do a meta episode at one time, and I think I'm going to sit that one out and let you guys run that one, because I'm completely useless on that. So I'm an idiot.
Disagree. No, so meta in Trench Crusade is, actually, I have a whole spiel on this, but I think it's kind of a misnomer, because Trench Crusade revolves around the campaign, and I will die on this hill. The campaign is the real game. Meta dies the moment you start getting skills, because something that's not optimal in a one-off battle can become incredibly efficient if you have 1 or 2 skills to make it work.
I see. Well, we're going to do a round robin. So in the script, I asked you to name 3 things we don't like about Trench Crusade. Maybe you have a list in your head about 10 things or 12 things or 15 things. But I was wondering, what's your top 3 stuff little things that irk you about Trench Crusade. I would say I'll kick it off, then go over to one of you, and we'll just revolve that. My first pet peeve. I noticed about my pet peeves, about the stuff that I didn't like, that it really has nothing to do with rules or units, which is, when I hear the community talk, different, because if I ask, what really bothers you about Trench Crusade, they say like, this unit blows and this unit is overpowered, and I don't have nothing of that. What really irks me has more to do with the community and how the game is being run. So my first one is the size of the community and the stuff that comes along with it. And that's something that's really unfair, because the bigger a community gets, the more people you attract. The more people you attract, then you have all sorts of people, and it's really hard to manage. But the size of the community bothers me, because when I go to a Facebook page that has 80,000 subscribers, you ask something on that, it disappears in a blink of an eye, or the algorithm lets you not see your post. When I was still on the main Discord, when you ask something or you post something, it disappears in a wave of bullshit almost. It's like you ask a really difficult and honest question, and then you get bombarded by 80% of people that are shouting things about doors. I still don't know what that means, but I don't care what that means. But
Temple of Metamorphosis, door posting, it's a thing.
Yeah, well, how old are you, by the way, Rich?
I'll be 34 this month.
Yeah, you're still one of those guys.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't make me come to Belgium.
you millennials out there. I'm still Generation X. I don't speak meme. I hate memes. Use words. I don't get that.
Them's fighting words.
Yeah.
I live on memes and spite.
But you're also a tattooed large guy, so I had to be careful here. So, no, the fact is that the more people you have, the more assholes you get, and at a certain point, you get your quota of assholes is so big that it actually dirties the pool, of murkens the pool, and that's what bothers me about Trench Crusade. You still get a lot of assholes on there, and that bothers me. So, what's your take on that, Alex?
I don't have too much of a take on that, I don't think. I guess it's kind of just the nature of things. But yeah, it's kind of like just, I think the larger a group, the less feeling goes into it. Like that feeling of anonymity, I think, makes people behave a lot differently than a small group of 5 or 10
so
or 100.
Would you feel at ease in a game that is 40k size? Or is there a certain point that you would say, like, this is getting too big, I'm going to another little niche friendly game, this is getting too much for me? Is that a possibility?
I know that if I was into 40k, and I mean I am into other Warhammer things, I'm not in those Discords, I'm not in those larger, like the big official communities. You find your sub-communities, like a Reddit page, a Facebook page, a Discord page. I think there's a certain size where you lose that feeling of one community, kind of. And Trench Crusade is, I guess, verging into that. Like, so far it's been a pretty tight-knit community on the Discord and Facebook. But at some point, I guess, it becomes this decentralized entity where most people aren't hanging out in one place. You're hanging out in your country's page or something like that.
I'm a little bit scared of that. So, all right, Richter, your first hate.
Well, let me just preface: it's not hate; it's just something that needs to be addressed. There's just so much internal and external balance issues in this game. Sometimes I just look at my rulebook. I'm like, oh my god, why is this a thing? And for anyone listening, internal and external balance is a great example. Let's just take the new Antioch on for a second. You have the heavy shotgun, that's 20 ducats. Then you have the machine gun, that's 55. No one takes the machine gun ever because it's terrible, and it's over double the ducats of the heavy shotgun, which is one of the best weapons in the game. Why is this pointed or costed the way it is, given the effectiveness of both options?
I'm doing a lot of games with a lot of new people that are more narrative, and I meet people with machine guns all the time, and I use machine guns all the time, and still they are used to great effect, it seems. But is this because I'm a bad player that I fail to see that the machine gun is not good?
Well, let's just look at what both of them do. So the machine gun is 50 ducats, heavy, two-handed. You can fire 3 shots at flat dice and injury, and immediately ends your action. Now, in new Antioch fire teams, that actually turns off the whole fire team. So you don't want another fire team. It has a 36-inch range, so you're taking -1 range at 18 inches, and then cover. So you're generally at -2 before characteristic. The only person in New Antioch that can carry the machine gun while moving and shooting is the MHI, who has +1 range characteristic. So on average, you're rolling at -1 dice, which is like a 30-something% chance to succeed on any given shot. Assuming you do hit, it doesn't have any bonuses to injury. So you're rolling just flat dice against someone who might have armor, or might have tough. Now you compare that to the heavy shotgun. So granted, still heavy, so MHI takes it. But you can move up. It doesn't end your activation, your fight team's activation after you fire it. And at 6 inches, it has +2 dice to injure. And that +2 dice to injure is huge, especially in a fire team, when you can stack up 2 or 3 blood, perhaps bloodbath with it. So you're rolling 5 dice total, taking the highest 3. You're killing 12 armor or -3 armor pretty consistently with a heavy shotgun.
Yeah, but I mean, the machine gun goes brrr. Isn't that good?
No, I love the machine gun. I want the machine gun to be better. But right now, it's borderline unusable.
All right. So explain that balance thing again, the inward and the external balance.
So internal balance is like how your army compares to itself, what options your army has, and how those options stack up against each other. So the heavy shotgun versus machine gun for New Antioch, or pretty much everything in court versus the Malibranche or Serpent Assault gun. That's the internal balance of it all. The external balance is how, and I'll get into this later, the Warwolf compares to the Desecrated Saint, for example.
Huh. I never thought about that, actually. That's a whole different... Okay, cool. Well, valid. Alex, your first little annoyance.
My first little annoyance, and I don't know, maybe I am too positive of a person, as you said, but I kind of struggled to come up with 3 unique ones, so they may overlap a little bit, so apologies for that. My first one is rules questions that cannot be confidently answered, or holes in the rules currently. Like someone comes up with a scenario. For example, recently I saw someone asking how does tough interact with the campaign skill stand firm? Tough being an out of action is converted into a down, and then stand firm converts a down into a minor hit. Or you don't get down. I can't remember exactly. It's stand firm versus hard as nails versus the others. And that's something that, can a converted result get converted into something else? That is something that isn't really covered in the rules. So at that point, that annoys me that we're a year into the game and there are questions that you just have to say, discuss it with the people you're playing with and come up with whatever you think sounds good, because there's no answer. There's no confident answer.
I think specifically for stand firm, it calls out the down result. Tough, but tough interacts with the out of action result. So I don't even think stand firm interacts with tough at all.
That's one interpretation. Some thought otherwise, and that debate where you just like, which ends in like neither side thinking, like taking a step back, and it just gets circular of
At that point, just roll a d6.
well, not going anywhere.
Move on with the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you can't, that kind of thing. It's annoying, and yeah, I mean, playtest rules and all, but I do hope that full release, allegedly this month, will hopefully not have too many of those holes in them.
And a lot of them are actually, well, they overlap, and as is to be expected, of course. A lot of stuff is about rules, and them being a little bit too vague or not precise enough. So I would suggest, guys, that we take our top 2 instead of our top 3 of our pet peeves and annoyances. And that way we can stay within the hour as well. So my second would be that it's a little bit too much. And what I mean by that is I'm almost glad to see a human unit on the other side of the board running against me. This game for me is a little bit about soldiers and armies. So I like to play against Antioch. I'm not good enough to play Antioch myself, but I like to play against Antioch because that's a human in an armor with a rifle running against me, and not demon 500 Beelzebub X coming from the nether dimensions. It's all a bit too much. I mean, every time it's demons and gore and specials, and I mean, tone it down a little bit. Where are we going with this? That's my annoyance. And maybe people are saying now, well, hey, you should then play another game. Go play something with Memoir or real soldiers and units. But this is about Grimdark and about the forces of hell and heaven. But it's a little bit too much for me, almost. What do you think about that, guys?
I don't play Heretic Legion, honestly. I don't like their lore.
Yeah.
It's just silly after a point. I'm like, all right, I like Trench Crusade when it's grounded.
You play Court, right?
Yeah, because it's weird. My suspension of disbelief includes Court. Like, it's World War I with demons. Cool, I understand that. But the moment you start getting like Baal's baby furnace, or people just like committing mass ritual suicide for the Heretic Legion, like, that doesn't make sense to me. How do you still have people to fight a war after 800 years of this? No.
Alex, is everything too much for you, or you just go along with the flow?
At points, yeah, things can be a little too much. I'm trying to think of a term. Is grim derp a term? If I remember correctly, I've heard that things get a little too unrealistic. That you start exaggerating things. I think, to go back to 40K, from the little I've read about it, is just when a spaceship draws 44 quintillion liters of fuel per hour, and it's like you can't fathom that. Like, what are you talking about? And that's the same. It's like, I feel like that's an area I don't want to go into, as you said about the ritual suicide and constant human sacrifice. Where are people coming from at this point?
Is it going to get worse after the manual with the six extra factions, that we're going to have to invent the bigger evil and the bigger evil, and there's an evil even bigger above that, and go on like that?
I guess that is a concern, that like every new lore needs to top the last in epicness and scale, and that this will get out of hand. I hope that it will be focused on, I mean, the small guy in the trench, right? That's what this is about. This isn't about the big, space marines.
Yeah.
This is about the humans and their suffering.
Yeah.
I don't think the next 6 factions are going to expand it too much. It really feels that Trench Crusade is focused on the Middle East and mainland Europe. So I think the people pushing for, I want to see, the rest of Africa, or I want to see, Far East, I'm like, that'll expand it more But as it stands right now, I think all the lore drops have been pretty focused on individual dudes. Because the one that I remember most is the story about how the mechanized heavy infantry is made, where that like one of their arms is messed up, so they cut it off and add a clockwork version. Like, that's super cool. But I just don't see it expanding to like 40k levels of ridiculousness anytime soon.
Rich, your second one.
Second one, because we're going to talk about rules again, post-battle swinginess. So I can have a really good game, like when I'm rolling dice, and then I just get completely fucked by just injury rolls or trauma rolls or rolling badly on exploration. So it doesn't matter how well I did in game, I am super far behind.
That's when you play campaign games.
In the post game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it can be really bad because a couple traumas or injuries, whatever they're called right now, can be crippling depending on the unit. Like, you get possessed on, like, I got possessed on my Praetor once, and it's like, oh my god. So possessed is the first action of each turn for that model has to be a dash. And in one game, I failed 2 + 2 dashes. And I was just like, this is unacceptable.
Would it be cooler if you you just get extra ducats and extra glory points, but you leave out all the skill stuff? Would that be preferable?
I don't think so. I mean, the skills make the campaign. They really make it your own model. Like, for me, I'm such a big nerd. Like, I name all of my guys in Duck and my court. So they have names and like personalities. I give them a little backstory. Basically, yeah.
All right, Alex, second one.
I'm torn on which one to go for here, but I guess all my gripes with the game are rules related. So I guess I'll go for the massive amount at this point of ruling of niche scenarios that Thomas has answered on primarily Discord, but also to some extent Facebook, and the library that's needed to maintain this and answer questions related. Like, I still find myself going back like 10 months ago, 12 months ago. I think 12 months ago is roughly the time that Thomas answered that a point-targeted attack, such as the artillery witch, can target a model that it does not see the base of, and at that point it targets the base. That was roughly 12 months ago, not really explained in the rules. So if you just go by the rulebook, you may just think that you can't attack someone, for example, standing on a roof with a point-targeted attack, even though you can see them, but not their base. And I think this need to find these old rulings in order to maintain a cohesive game experience is something that should really be sorted, which again, hopefully 1.0.
They just need to hire an editor, honestly.
I used to be a missionary in the earlier months of Trench Crusade, and got into contact with Thomas a lot. We talked regularly, and because I was doing the podcast also with Jamie, and I was fairly close up to having the ear of people who were making the game. And I have the habit of making a little bit of a nuisance of myself, because I always tend to give advice, and when you give advice when you're really not in the internal core team, it doesn't get appreciated, but I did it anyway. And the stuff I always said to Thomas, like, guy, you really cannot do this by yourself. You really need help. And he always said, yeah, I know, I realize I'm getting swamped. I'm working for 24 hours a day. And I said, please hire a lot of people, capable people. And I have the distinct idea that they didn't, and really want to try to make this by themselves. Is it fear of hiring people that are taking the game, taking your baby, and I do get that, by the way, taking your baby away from your original idea? But I tend to believe he is the prophet on the mountain, and he is losing track of everything because it's getting bigger than himself. And I get that, because this is an enormous amount of work, and there are so many little parameters you have to think about and adjust. And I mean, this guy is getting bombarded by thousands of people every day. He needs an editor. He needs a personal assistant or two to actually get this going. And a lot of gripes I hear about of the community is about this. So I get that, Alex. I get your point. Will it? Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, he asked for $66,000 or something, and you got 3.5 million. I know the team at FFI is slowly expanding, but I know there's a lot of people on the server, myself included, that would do a lot of this for free. Just let me edit the rule book, make all the wording consistent.
I know people that were actually building AI tools and programming tools to have all the stuff that Thomas says, to catalog it and store it in a certain way so that it's easily retractable and researchable.
I mean, when I was playing Red Brigade, the revelation that you can't use the Crimson Communicant's blood markers to degrade their melee attack was huge. And that is implied in nowhere in the rule set at all.
The new rule set does have it.
Okay,
the one on the webpage now has it.
Okay, cool. This was like a few months back. But I'm glad they added it finally, but...
You hear that bitter romantic of the Trenchfoot Society mess hall?
Okay, anyone who has a problem with Big Red has a problem with me. It's a great model. Leave him alone.
Then you have a nemesis out there, Rich. Really,
Yeah, let's go. I love my Big Red. He's great.
All right. All right. Do we have a last one, or did we do everything? Has everybody had 2 goes?
I think everyone's had 2 goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I've had my 2.
Okay. Some hates from the Transfer Set community. Well, they're usually the same as our hates, and I'm saying hates too much, but the playtest rules are not tight enough. That's what we hear a lot of times. When we talk about units, and we will talk about units in a couple of minutes that we really dislike, the Hunter of the Left Path is one that gets talk a lot, gets a lot of hate.
I have so much to say about the Hunter of the Left-Hand Path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to curb you on that one because we're running late also. But also what people hate is the what you see is what you get factor. When I play and my units do not have a punt gun, but they have a flail, that's okay, I'll just pretend. But other people, they really hate the fact that the units on the board do not have the right equipment that they are having in game. So there's a lot of gripe.
I don't really understand this one, because isn't in the rules like, hey, this is not a WYSIWYG game, like spelled out very clearly.
You feel the same, Alex?
I do. I think you need to have your printer running constantly, especially if you're going to play a campaign. Suddenly you roll Lost Arm. I guess I need to print a model without an arm now. I think that, you print a model, and if there is an option that matches what you have, for example, my Defenders of the Iron Wall, I have the Flamethrower Azib, and I do use him as a flamethrower when I want a flamethrower. But he's also been run as an Azib with Jezzail when I needed it. What you see is what you get is nice when you can, but I don't think it should be something to aim for. It's a bonus.
Yeah, if someone dies on that hill, it's just, okay, I don't need to play with you. It's a good self-selecting factor.
I had a discussion on the Trenchfoot Society Discord side about in Belgium we're going to have a large convention in November, Crisis, and on Crisis we're going to have a tournament, and in that tournament we have 40 tables, about 80 or 100 people playing Trench Crusade at the same time. And the organizer of that tournament asked me like, hey, can you give me the tournament rule set? We don't have a tournament rule set. What do you mean you don't have a tournament rule set? No, we don't have tournament rules. how are we going to do that? So, well, together with my trusted council of 10, we're putting some stuff together. But then we had a discussion about, well, if somebody plays a warband that is not painted, is he allowed to play? Some say sure, some say no gray on the table. If it's not what you see is what you get, is that a problem? Some say yeah, that's a problem. Some say no. So we're still in the vague area on that one as well. So much to do.
Yeah, that's just a tournament pack.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah. That's something to do on the bucket list, I guess. All right, we're going down to the unit segment. Normally, we have a unit segment that showcases one unit that we like. We're going the opposite direction. So we each took one or two units we really don't like. I'll just do mine. I actually like all units. I do not dislike one single unit because of the rule set, because I think that even if you're facing something that is really hard to kill or really difficult, it's part of the game, it's part of the narrative. I would rather die against something that is near unkillable than have everything be logical and precise. So I don't have anything rule set, but I do have two gripes about sculpts. And I am a bit disappointed about some of the sculpts. I mean, I'm really over the moon with some of them, but others are a bit lackluster and I chose two of those. So, one, the stigmatic nun. This is not a booby thing, right? I do not need boobs on the table. Boots on the ground, boobs on the table. There's something there. I don't need to have my nuns go all flashy and fleshy, but the sculpt I have of the nun is atrocious. I can't even paint it correctly or right. I have nothing there that says like, wow, this is a cool unit. I really want to use other kit bashed units of nuns because the ones I have in Trench Crusade are crap.
Do you have the armored nun or the unarmored one? There's an armored nun as well, where she has like a full hat and the kind of a halo thing. And
yeah, that I hate. That.
Okay, so you don't like either of them. Got it.
All right. Well, I hate the sculpts. Also, the Herald of Beelzebub, the big bloaty fly thing. It's great. I mean, if I would see a big bloaty fly at me, I would shit my pants. But I really hate the fly sculpt. It doesn't appeal to me one way. Even if I have to paint it all gory and pink and brown and fleshy and kakadudu, I hate it. So those are my two. I don't know if you have anything to add to that sculpt wise, or are you just wanting to have your own unit hates on the table? Let me know.
I haven't looked too much at those sculpts, so I don't have too much to add, really. I haven't printed either Grail or Pilgrims yet.
I printed out 3 Grail warbands from people I know, and they have the STLs before anybody asks. I'm just literally just printing. And like, do you not like all of Black Grail, or is it just the Herald you just?
Just the Herald. The other ones are okay. No, the Plague Knight, it doesn't appeal to me. It's just the Corpse Guard, nah. Well, I dislike most of them actually. Yeah.
Okay, so it's just that body horror infected thing that's not your liking.
Well, if I see the court units, they're like, wow, damn. And when I see the Black Grail units, I go like, oh, these are just brown guys, flies, and I don't care.
I was always a big Nurgle fan from Warhammer, so Black Grail was right up my alley.
Yeah. All right, Alex, what don't you like? What units do get to be on your shit list?
I brought 2 units for 2 different reasons. The first one, from a balancing / rules perspective, is the Martyr Penitent. the humble martyr penitent, the trench pilgrim resurrected. It's just, it's just too strong for what it is. It costs you 45 ducats to bring it back. At that point, it contributes 45 to threshold, so that's 15 more than normal trench pilgrim. And for 15 ducats, you get -1 damage, -1 dice to all injury against it, and +1 dice to melee.
And you can print them with the rack, so you can immediately kill one and immediately get it back. Ugh,
yes, you can just get one as long as you have the money. And that's my issue with it, that it is stronger than I think it should be for 45 ducats. It rewards you for having that 45 ducats in a way that I think can be considered snowballing. The more you win with trench pilgrims, as long as you're printing a pilgrim, the more martyr penitents you have, the more you win. Because these really don't cost a lot, and once you get martyrdom pills on them, so they have -2 dice to injury, and if you're playing Sacred Affliction,
you get
and 3 of them are strong, and 1 of them has Wrath of God, so it doesn't even get blood markers, so you can't put blood markers on it, it rolls -2 dice, so it's just running around it. You can't touch it, it's super nice.
Only thing I can think of to deal with that is eat it with a Sin Eater.
Yeah, pretty much eat it with a Sin Eater, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only option I've ever thought of.
Or a heavy shotgun and hope for that really good roll, that flat roll, because the heavy shotgun's negated.
Flat. Ooh.
Yeah.
I hate Wog Pilgrims so much. And that's also why I don't like Sacred Affliction. It's just so good. You can get multiple penitents and quote unquote badly in the post game. And you're just like, cool, all of my guys have martyrdom pills. What are you going to do about it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's stupid.
All right. Second one.
The second unit I brought is less for balancing reasons, though I also think it's strong, is the Scripture Guardian, the mercenary that every faction in the game can recruit. And that's my main gripe with it, is that it is the one unit. I would not have an issue with this if there were more models that all more mercenaries that everyone could bring. But I think having a shared model between all the factions is boring. I think that coming up against a faction and seeing, oh, you have a Scripture Guardian, coming up against a different faction, oh, you also have a Scripture Guardian, it just takes away from it. I would like to have seen the Scripture Guardian be slightly altered by the warband that you play. A Black Grail one puts infection markers out. A Pilgrim one is more of a buffy one that puts blessing markers. I don't know.
That's a good idea.
But I don't like the shared. Thank you. I don't like the shared model. I think it takes away from the faction identity.
Okay. How much is it, by the way?
7 glory.
How much does it cost? 7 glory. Is it worth it?
It's pricey, but yeah, it has a range attack. Is it 18 or is it 24 range?
I think it's 18-inch range attack. That's not even it's not an action. You just do it. And
it ignores cover or long range, and armor.
Yeah.
So at worst, really, you're rolling flat to hit someone, and if they have blood marker, they probably die.
So much better. Yeah, you can stack up. I remember the initial version of the Scripture Guardian. It had like Golem, and they didn't add that caveat like you can't remove blood markers from your own Golem.
The court Scripture
and the court chat just lost their minds. I was there for that. Like, oh, so we have an unkillable model. Is that what's happening? And that was reverted in like 16 hours, which was a good shot. But yeah, like
I can picture it in all caps. It's a standard court discussion. All caps, all the time.
You know, court chat on the main server, ironically wholesome. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay. Well, the main server does have to have one wholesome thing. I'm sorry. Richter, yours.
So I have 2 models that I hate, quote unquote hate, for very similar reasons. The Werewolf Abomination. Oh my. Okay, so they're almost perfect models. And I've been thinking about this a lot the last week. They're fast, they're killy, and they're durable. In spades.
Yeah.
Like, so, and especially with the Werewolf, it's 140 ducats. You get inch infantry move, +2 melee, -3 armor, tough, +2 to dash, ignore difficult terrain. So it's getting where it needs to go no matter what. It will kill whatever it can with the chain maw because it's +1 dice to hit, so 3 total, ignoring armor at +1 dice to hit. And then its offhand attack is just +1, also risky, but it's an offhand. It goes second anyway. It's getting where it needs to go, and it's 100. If you compare that to the Shrine Anchorite or the Desecrated Saint, it's so much better than the Shrine, and the Saint doesn't even see play because it's bad. 140 ducats for an amazing model. And then the Hunter is even worse. The Hunter gets where it needs to go, period. You're in melee turn 1 if you want. 100% of the time. And then it has 3 Gotics, so the teleport, famous. Oracle Beast Cloak, so you can just not kill it. It has stuff every turn. And then it can walk out of melee. And it comes with arguably the best gun in the game. I don't know how to fix the Hunter. It needs a serious rework.
There was something someone said that it could even get worse in campaign play, where a hunter would be able to use his bow as a melee weapon as well.
Point blank, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that.
It's also assault. It's a 24-inch assault bow. It's insane. Like you can teleport, shoot, charge, shoot again.
With point blank.
Yeah, with point blank, obviously. And it's just the hunter is the most perfect unit in any war game I've ever seen. I've never had mine die, and I use it rather aggressively.
Is it so bad that your opponent would really be bummed out by you using it?
It's won me games on turn 1.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I was playing against a buddy of mine online, Hornet, and he had an anti-tank communicant with Overwatch on the whole board. I killed it immediately with my Hunter, and that was the game right there.
Huh.
Like, Hunters need a serious rework. And as much as I love them, like, my God, it is unfun to play against.
Is it? That's the problem, of course. I mean, if they're still okay to play against, if they're still fun, if people would say like, hey, this is a really bad unit, but it's fun to play against because it gives me a challenge, that's okay. But if you really go like, oh, this isn't even fun anymore, yeah, then it has to change, I guess.
A Hunter played well is almost unkillable.
Right.
Like, for mine, I run it with a head taker. So, if we don't activate, you get +2 dice to injury result. I can basically teleport around the board with it, assassinating models that are important, hamstringing the enemy warband before my Praetor gets to combat.
Man, I'm playing against a new guy that's just discovered court. If he hears this, I'm toast. If I play against him.
Oh, no. Here's the other thing. Hunters played badly are just free ducats to pick up.
Okay.
And that's the other thing. It's impossible to screen a Hunter. It's literally impossible to do. No matter what, they're killing 1 or 2 models before you can, assuming you can pick them up. So like the Warwolf, you can kind of screen, you can use Danger Strain, you can use over inch high intervening models, or over inch high intervening terrain to slow them down. You can down it from long range, make it slow a little bit. But a Hunter is just there. There is no counterplay to its teleport. It's just in your face immediately. And then you have the choice of what do you feed to the Hunter that won't hurt you too bad to slow it down, or do you try to make it so the Hunter can't hurt you super bad? But no matter what, you're losing a model or 2.
Yeah, a lot of people feel the same way. So there is,
and they're not wrong.
Yeah.
I love my Hunter. I will never not play court without one. But it's also why I don't play court very much anymore.
Yeah, I get that. All right, these are our hated items. So we're running over an hour, so we're going to slowly close this down, doing the last couple of things we always do on a TFS podcast, and that's telling everyone what's coming up soon. So we're going to do episode 5, and I was thinking about really tackling the meta. And I hate that word, meta. There isn't one, there is one. It's a discussion on itself. But the competitive aspect of Trench Crusade, I would really like to get that on the board. as we are going to close to in November, there's going to be a huge ass convention here, like I told you, with a lot of tables, and we're not ready for it. So I was using this podcast to get ready for it and have you guys, you experts, teach me how should we tackle this competitive aspect of the game, and should we? So I was thinking to do that one. How are you feeling about that, guys?
Oh, I like the meta. I try to build efficient and strong lists, and then I tone it down based on who I'm playing. So I'm all about the meta.
Cool. Alex, looking forward to this?
Yeah, why not? Sounds like a good change of pace.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
And I'll be finding a third host, and then you guys can do that without me. So I'm really not interested in this.
So actually, whoa, there's actually a really strong point to have someone who's not super into the meta involved in the conversation.
Okay.
Just like how, and you're a teacher, so you'll know this. The best way to teach, the best way to teach is explain it to somebody. So you'll learn more about the meta. Explaining to someone is like, why do you do that? Or what about this other option? And then if you can eloquently and intelligently explain, like, hey, this is why we do it X, Y, Z instead of what you said, you'll learn more about the meta, and you'll actually experience bringing someone up to speed.
I'll have you know that the best way of teaching is still indoctrination, manipulation, and the use of electroshocks, but that's another discussion, by the way. But I might...
I didn't know we were going to the Congo.
I might be on there, then we'll see about that. Well, shout-outs. I have a shout-out to the Order of the Soggy Sock, you special people out there that are... supporting the show by giving us money. So we are not having a Patreon where there's a monthly fee for having extra content, but having you few people out there that actually contributed to the TFS podcast had us gather enough money to buy a website, to have a domain, and to get some stuff on there. And one of the things we're going to have on there soon is the strategy guide, the tactics compendium we have been working on for about 6-7 months. It's nearly finished. It's more than 230 pages. Kiwi and the Council of 10, the people I'm working with, have really, really outdone themselves, and it will soon be available on our website, our social media, and the few other Discords we are working with. So I'm happy to have that on there. Our newest member of the Order of the Soggy Sock, Uktrashers, thank you a lot, by the way, for making an excellent a video intro we can use on our YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this, you have probably seen it already. I'll put some extra work of him in the show notes so he can get the honor he deserves. So, do you guys have any shoutouts still on the board?
Can I shout out my local FLGS?
Of course.
Yeah, so I just want to give a big shout out to Hobbytown in Aurora, Denver, Colorado. They let us play in the basement for free, even though they don't have any Trench Crusade merch for sale. Super cool team. If you're in Denver, come on down. The War College is Saturday nights from 6:30 p.m. to whenever. It's
always so strange when you talk with Americans that how shall I explain this? I mean, at my age, 51, you have been basked in American culture the whole of your life. So when you see movies, they're American. When you see shows or series, they're American. So when someone says like, yeah, I like to shout out to my local game store in Denver, Colorado, it always feels so strange and tingly that, yeah, this almost feels like otherworldly. It's strange. I don't know if it's the same for you, Alex, but talking with Americans can be so invigorating sometimes.
There are strange people over there, you're right.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Shoutouts from you, Alex?
Didn't really plan anything, but I guess shout out to the Trench Crusade map artist, Jared Blando, if I got the name right. Hopefully got the pronunciation right. It's a cool map, and I'm looking forward to having it on my wall.
Yeah. What? Why?
You hate everything.
Too much. It's, again, too much. There's too much on there. I mean, you can watch that map for hours and still go like, I haven't discovered that one, and it's too much. It plays badly with my brain. Boo map. Okay, we're gonna shout this out. We did shout this out. We're gonna roll this out. So people out there, if you like us, please, and this is a broken record, like and subscribe to us. It means a lot. I don't know shit about algorithms, but apparently it helps us when you like and when you press those buttons. It helps us. Also, if you like to contribute, be a member of the Soggy Sock, throw us a couple of euros. We'll use it to have better equipment, better sites, and give you more content. So that's it. That's everything from me. So, Rich, how do you like? How was your deflowering?
Oh, okay. We're gonna put this publicly. No, it was pretty fun. I just hope I didn't make too much of a fool of myself.
No, just a little bit. Nothing sincerely badly. So that's okay.
Just a little's fine.
I was thinking about this. I mean, we had Doug on last time. We have you on this time. Me and Alex are the main hosts. What do you say we make this a team of 4 and go forward with our specialties and our little hikes with a team of 4?
Team of 4 might be tough to fit in an hour podcast.
Yeah, well,
might need to bump it up to an hour and a half.
We can't be online all the time, everyone, so we'll see if it's a podcast that can do it with a little bit of philosophy. We'll use Doug. If we have more rules and other stuff, we use you. It's stuff like that. Yeah.
I also like philosophy. I love it. So don't count me out for
No,
those.
you're American. You can't. I'm really going to have to go into a fisticuff session with you, I guess, when I meet you.
Yeah. I'll just come out to Belgium. I'll bring my court and I'll show you how.
It's on, man. It's on. Bring it on.
Hey, I have family in Munich, so I can just, hop over there, come over. It'd be fun.
Ich sehe dich mal nächstes Mal. Das geht ja schon.
Ja, hoffentlich.
And all the people in Germany are now going like, oh, really? Did you have to do that? All right. Okay, people. See you next time. Bye-bye.